What's up, gang? So I had the old D'Armond out, giving it a little tune up, and I figured what better time than to do a quick lesson on my man Carl Perkins, because this is probably the closest I'll ever get to a gold top Les Paul with P90s. So let's use this, it'll be fun. So I think everybody knows that Carl Perkins is by far my favorite of the $1 Million Quartet. And I don't know if there's anybody that had more influence on the future other than Johnny Cash, you know, in country. But if you think about Carl Perkins, I mean, the Beatles covered Carl Perkins. That's how influential he was. And so today I want to show you guys a quick lesson on how to play Honey Don't, which I think is probably the prototypical rockabilly song that influenced so much modern rockabilly, you know, like your Stray Cats and your Reverend Horton Heats and so on and so forth up until today. Certainly influenced me a lot. And so I'm going to give you guys a quick run through on how to play Honey Don't. Now, my usual disclaimer when I'm showing you guys how to play a song, I'm going to teach you how to play it in a way I would teach you if you and I were going to go play it at a gig, if you were going to sit in with me and play. We're not going to pick apart the album note for note. I'm going to show you how to play it, and then you can add little variations. Maybe I'll show you some stuff that I like, but this is a let's play the song together out, not a break down the record completely, note for note, meticulously, okay? You good? I'm good. So let's do it. Hey y'all, dropping in as usual right before the lesson. If you haven't, like, subscribe. We do lots of fun stuff around here. It'll be fun, I promise. Okay, later. Okay, so I like to break this song down into 4 parts. You got the intro, the verse, the chorus, and the little solo section. So let's just go through them one by one. Now the first thing you want to do when you start playing this is you want to get some slapback delay. Hear that? See the slapback? I have a video on how to get slapback delay if you want it, but that's really going to be critical to make this sound right. So get your slapback delay. Okay, so let's work on that intro first. Let's do it fast, then we'll do it slow, then we'll talk about it. All right. And so it's just walking down the G string, and you're going from the 4th, 3rd, 2nd fret, okay? And in between those notes, he's strumming the high E and the B string. And so what's real important about this is you make sure you're kind of accurate and you're not hitting these top 3 bass strings, okay? So it's like... right? So that's all there is to it. Now what he's doing is he's doing that descending. Now I sometimes do it with my fingers and I pick it, kind of hybrid pick it, and it also sounds like... okay, and so that's the descending part. And then when he's doing the E, you start with just fretting these 2 fingers on it. Keep the major 3rd with your pointer finger off. And as you're hitting it, you're gonna hammer on. Hear that? So I like hit the low E, and then when I'm strumming the rest of it, then I hammer on this finger. And then that's how you get. So let's talk about the verse and the chorus. They kind of run into each other, so I'm gonna just play the whole thing, one little run through it, and I'll kind of mumble the lyrics so you can kind of hear what's going on, and then we'll break them down. So let's just start from the beginning. How come you say you will when you won't? Hey baby, don't you don't? Oh baby, you're all so sweet. Oh baby, rock it off your feet. Honey don't, honey don't, honey don't, honey don't, honey don't. Say you will when you won't. Honey don't. Alright, so let's just look at the verse real quick. It's super hip. He's going from the E to the C, which would be like your flat 6 or your sharp 5 in the progression. It's super cool, super hip. So he's just going, how can you say you will when you won't? To the C, and it's like, ba-dum, ba So it's like down, up, and then when you're going to go down again, that's when you change to the C. And then you do the same thing going, and so it's just going back and forth. E, C, E, C, and then on the last one, you're changing to this B9, which is a really great chord. It's all over Rockabilly. So if you don't have with this one, let me tell you about it right quick. It's just second fret on the A string, first fret on the D, and then on the second fret, G and B string. And that's your B9. And he goes there, and then you might do a little bit of alternating, right? So if I play it kind of slow, how come you say you will when you won't, but up a C, but on a E, but on a C, but on a B. Honey don't. Okay, and that's the verse. That's all there is to it. All right, so now let's break down the verse. Now it's way more straightforward, mostly in that it goes from the 1 to the 4 to the 5. But I'm just going to play it real slow. And the thing to notice is he plays that first thing in E for 3 measures instead of 2. And so you'll just have to listen to the song and get it down. But let's go slow here. And it's just that classic walking bass line. I have a lesson on it. I'll link it in the notes below so you can see that if you want. All right, so let's just do that real slow. And now remember, you're going to play that first part 3 times, and then you move to the A. So. Honey don't. Honey don't. Honey don't. Honey don't. Then that EB6. Honey don't. And so, and that gets you back to the verse. Okay, so let's work on that solo. So I'm just going to play through it right quick, and then we'll break it down. Ready? All right, so let's just break this down real quick, and once you see what's going on, it'll be real clear. So he's just playing along with the changes on this, and so if you remember, the verse goes from the E to the C back and forth, right? And so that's what he's doing at the beginning, but he's just playing these triads, this shape here, where like at the E, 12th fret, on the high E, 12th fret, B, 12th fret, and the 13th fret on the G string, right? And so you're just going. And then you come down and do the same thing at the 8th fret, 8th fret and 9th fret for the C, right? And this, if you remember these bar chords here, it's from out of those, right? So it's just this little partial, and then down to the C, back up to the E, down to the C, and then for the B part, he's just doing a descending thing down the major scale, and he's just going. Okay, and so that's from the 7th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and then you have that E, open E. All right, and then the next part is just following the verse things, just without any words really over them. Now you'll notice he plays things slightly different and does variations and little flares and things, and that's just something that happens in Rockabilly. Nobody plays the same thing twice, not even in the same song. So he's just going from the E, and then he's going to the A. So you'll notice he's leaving out that kind of note there. Okay, and so for the B part, he just plays it so many different ways. Every live performance I've seen, he does it completely different. But he's done this thing where he's playing the B, and then here he's bending it to kind of get the major third. He'll do something like that. In my example, I went... Okay, either of those work. And then he kind of does this thing where you have the E. Okay, and so yeah, you would just get something like... See, I played it twice and played it differently, right? So there you go. And then at the end, he has this outro that's kind of a play on the intro lick, I think. Don't quote me on this, but it's something like... Something like that. Play around with it if you want, but all he's doing is he's doing that same descending, but he's going all the way down to the 1st fret. And then this thing you just need to know how to play anyway, this. It's in every rockabilly song, lots of 50s songs. So I'm going to teach it to you in E. So in E, you would start on the G string on the 4th fret, and then the B string 2nd. Then you're going to hit the 4th fret, B string, and then you land on the E at the 5th fret, B string. So... Okay, so you need that. Practice that. If you take nothing else from this lesson, get that. All right, there you go. See, not so bad, right? Honey Don't is one of those songs that I feel like it's real straightforward and simple, and it shows you the genius of somebody like Carl Perkins and some of those early hillbilly guys. Like, it's really nice and simple and straightforward, but also it has all these prototypical things that you would see in modern rockabilly and even just songs in general going forward, right? You'd have your intros and this kind of start, stop, verse, just so many things. So dig into the song, play around with it, and just keep looking at more Carl Perkins stuff. There's just a ton. I've got 2 more lessons. I've got Blue Suede Shoes and Dixie Fried, which I think is just a killer song. Check those out and yeah, enjoy. Like I say, as always, thanks again, you guys, for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out some of these other videos over here. And yeah, just keep on picking, man. Let's just keep on picking. I don't know what else to tell you to do. So do that. All right, later.